Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast bud.
What's up, gang? Welcome back to another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready. It's a new day. It's not a walk in the park. It's a sprint on the track. It's not a walk in the park. It's a sprint on the track. Success doesn't come at this casual pace. You know, yeah, it's a process, right? There's a process to getting to where you want to go, you know, all that stuff. But I think at times when I watch people, I think I watch people not move with enough speed and intensity and passion. And if we were viewing it, sometimes I think I watch people try to pursue greatness like it's a walk around a track, like at a casual walking pace, and they just need to pick up the pace. Because to me, it demands speed and intensity and commitment and intentionality. And so what happens is when you're in a pursuit of greatness, life isn't going to slow down for us just because we're trying to keep this slow pace. You have to rise to life's pace. So you could say, well, you know, maybe I could think of, maybe it's not necessarily a sprint, but it's at least a marathon, right? So people say, well, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. I can buy into that. But have you ever seen some of these marathon runners? I mean, they're running at a pace that most people can't even run at for a couple miles or a mile. They're running marathons at that pace. And so it's still a good pace. It's not a casual walk in the park. To go get what you want to get, to pursue greatness, it really boils down to understanding the percentage of people that are going to obtain or have whatever it is that you're trying to obtain or have. So if it's playing baseball or playing basketball or being an actress or being a musician or being in business or being a wrestler or whatever it is, whatever is the goal, what percentage of people get that goal? And if it's a small percentage, you got to understand that ain't going to be no walk in the park. That ain't going to be something that happens easy. It ain't going to be something that happens casually. And so walking through life casually means watching opportunities pass you by. You got to go out there and attack it. You got to go on the, like if you're viewing a track, you don't, if we're in a sprint, you don't jog when the gun goes off. You got to explode out the blocks. Winners understand that there's a level of urgency that you got to move with. There's a level of speed and intentionality that you got to move with. They move with purpose every single day. You got to understand, like people that are doing this, they get what I'm trying to say is you can't just casually wing it. Is sometimes you got to will it. You got to will your way to victory. You ever hear people say it's the will, like it's the will to win or it's the will to prepare to win? It's that will. You got to have that will set, not just the skill set. Well, comfort is the enemy of progress, and it's that pressure that creates champions. But sometimes you got to put that pressure on yourself to not, I'm going to just be lackadaisical, or I'm just going to take it as it goes. Yeah, there's patience is important. You got to have patience. But you also, you know, what I don't know, I'm trying to think of what is it? Good things, oh, here it is. Good things come to those that wait, but only what's left over from those that get up and go get it. You understand what I'm saying? Good things come to those that wait, that patience. Yeah, you got to have a level of patience, but it's the people that go out there and go get it, go attack the day, go with intentionality, go with passion. that go out there and go get it. Every second counts. Wasted time is a step behind your competition. I was having a one-on-one development session with somebody today, super talented person, going to do really well in our business, doing a good job in our business already. But they were like, what do you think is what do you see that this person is doing that maybe I'm not doing? And I'm like, well, I can't say if it's you're not doing it or not. I could just tell you one thing. And so it's like, all right, what time do you get up and start your day? 6:30. And I asked the other person, 5:30. Well, there you go. If they got an hour early on each day, an hour earlier, it's going to be difficult for you to catch them unless you're catching them in other areas. But if this is a 100-meter sprint, or if this is a 100-yard dash, an hour, that's like I gave you a 20-yard head start. Sprinting means giving like maximum effort, even when your lungs burn and your legs feel a little bit heavy. Like we gotta run at this pace of urgency. And the momentum that comes from that level of urgency and consistency, that's what builds the momentum of the force that you need to compound to get you to where you want to be. It's daily sprints in the midst of your marathon, right? So, yeah, building a business, that's a marathon. Pursuing greatness, yeah, it may take you 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is. It may take you some time. It's a marathon, but it's daily sprints. It's yeah, you'll have days off. You'll have days where you take the day off or moments where you got a rest day. But it's these bursts of focused execution with energy. It's not about strolling towards our goals lackadaisically. It's about attacking them. Average effort is going to get you average results. Sprint level effort creates great results. So this race of life that we're on, like we're in this, I remember hearing somebody describe what you want. You picture, all right, it's 100 people in this race and the gun goes off, pow, and then we all start running laps. We all start running. And by the time you get 5 laps in, there's only 30 people left. Then you go another 5 laps in, now there's only 15 people left. Now you go another 5 laps, 10 laps, there's only 5 people left. Now you start to be left with the people that got some of the stuff that it takes. Now you start getting separated by inches. But it's the pace of, you can't get so far left behind because you're so lackadaisical, waiting on life to come to you, waiting on these things to happen. You got to go kick the door down and make some stuff happen. You got to wake up and get up and you got to go attack it. You got to go attack the day. Either you run it or it's going to run you. Either you run it or you're going to be left behind. But the race of life doesn't wait for you. You got to stay hungry. That's why you got to constantly renew your energy and your mindset of, why am I doing this? Because that why am I doing this, that purpose in what you're doing creates the passion. Now, these are buzzwords like, oh, you got to have a purpose. Passion, right? These are buzzwords that people like to hear, but just think about it for a minute. Purpose, the reason, the why. If you got the why clear and straight, it should burn you. It should light you. It should bring a different level of fire in you, a different level of conviction in you. And then you got to bring that passion. You got to be passionate. Nobody wants to follow a lethargic leader to where it is that they're going. You got to bring that certain level of energy. Talent will get you started. Talent will get you to a certain point. But until you get into a room where everybody's talented. Like that last 10 out of 100 people, everybody might be talented where you're trying to go. Now it's the hunger that's going to keep you pushing when the talented people quit. Hunger means I'm never satisfied. Like I'm hungry. I'm staying hungry. Even after you eat, even after a win. This is what starts to separate people of like, can you stay hungry after you won? Can you stay hungry after you had a good year? Can you stay hungry after you had a good week? Can you stay hungry after you had a good month? The moment you think that you've arrived, somebody hungrier is already chasing you down. True competitors feed on that level of pressure, that some pain, some obstacles. You know, I saw a thing the other day and I was listening to some motivation and they said, if you're already in pain, get a reward for it. Right? So there can be things like you're already in pain. Life, something happened to you. You're upset. You're sad. You're pissed off. Whatever creates a certain level of emotion in you. You're already in pain. Go out there and get a reward from it. Don't waste that energy, that pain. That it brings you a certain level of fuel of like, what are you going to do with all that built up pain now, that built up energy, that emotion that you got? Well, you can let it eat you up, push you backwards, or you could allow it to push you forwards in regards to the pain, in regards to the pressure, in regards to the obstacles. Hunger isn't just about wanting to do more or wanting something more. It's about refusing to settle for less. Like I refuse. You got to be stubborn. Like I refuse to settle. So we got some things about Kobe Bryant, right? Kobe Bryant. You guys know Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe. The Mamba mentality. Even after 5 championships, you'll look up stories if you do research on Kobe. After he won 5 championships, ask people, look at the research, and he still was showing up before his teammates, before practice, before games, staying later after practice. He was obsessed. His hunger never turned off. Like that's the difference between people that can win one or they could be great for a minute of like, how can I be great for 3, 4, 5, 6? How do I create that level of legacy? You'll see sprints. Michael Jordan, he was cut from his high school basketball team and let it fuel him. You see the video of Mike when he played for the Bulls, when he was beating his teammates in sprints, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, staying hungry. Steve Jobs, fired from Apple. But then that hunger pushed him to create Pixar and come back to Apple and ends up building the world's most valuable company. Oprah Winfrey, from poverty to adversity to building $1 billion media empire. So it's like, what are you going to do with that fuel? What are you going to do with that pain? What are you going to do with that adversity? What are you going to do with them setbacks? What are you going to do when you win a title? The rest of your life is going to be, how do you handle success and how do you handle failure? How do you handle success? Kobe was showing you. Back to it, back to work. I'm going to still be earlier. I'm going to still FIFO, first in, first out, FILO, first in, last out. I want to be the first in, last out. Keep putting in that level of work, staying hungry, renewing the hunger in you, which are why. And then when you have setbacks, you have pain, you have adversity, obstacles, let it push you forward. But this greatness thing that you're pushing towards, this ain't going to be no walk in the park. You think it was going to be easy? Did you think it was going to be simple? Did you think people were going to hand it to you? Of course not. You knew it was going to be a little bit of a challenge. But also, it's not no walk in the park. It means you got to wake up with intentionality, light yourself on fire, have that energy, have that passion, go out there and attack it. No lackadaisical energy to get to where you want to be. Stay on fire. Keep that fire burning. Keep the flame lit and go out there and attack the weak. All right? So we appreciate you. As always, thank you for joining us on another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready. It's a new day.